Summertime is convertible time. Drop the top, feel the wind in your hair, the sun in your face, or in my case, the sun in your bald spot, and enjoy the great South African weather. Unless, of course, you're in Gauteng in January 2010. It's true, the weather gods didn't allow us to fully appreciate that top-down experience in the new Lexus IS250C, but we shall endeavour to bring you the full story despite a distinct lack of topless driving. And what makes that even more of a pity is that this car looks so much better with the roof stowed away. I like the look of the regular IS250. It's sort of sinewy and muscular, but the convertible version seems to have got a bit of a middle-aged spread going on, and it's all happening at the back. Spread is being polite. This backside looks like it's been on a diet of beer and chips for the last 6 months. It's ended up looking quite incongruous, with the same gorgeous face now matched to an oversized rear. A bit like Jennifer Lopez, if you will. But being Japanese, this sort of out-of-balance appearance is not a mistake. This is form following function. Now, believe it or not, the reason for this car's massive proportions is because of the game of golf. Now, prepare yourself, because what I'm about to show you is a little bit shocking. In fact, it might just take your breath away. So I hope you're sitting down. Look at the size of that boot. It's huge, not just for a convertible, but for any car. The Lexus engineers wanted to make sure that even with the roof down, there'd still be enough space to fit one golf bag in the back. Of course, you also need to house the folding metal roof, and although it works its origami magic in just a few seconds, you have to be stationary for it to work. None of this convert-on-the-fly nonsense for Lexus. And once it's folded away, you can connect your phone, connect your iPod, dial in your location to the hard drive-based navigation system using the touchscreen, and enjoy what this Lexus does best, and that's luxury. Of course, it's a luxury that comes at a bit of a price, and you might flinch at 550,000 Rand for a convertible, but it comes with just about everything. Just to give you some idea, besides the stuff I've already mentioned, there's keyless entry, dual-zone climate control, heated and electrically adjustable leather seats, cruise control, a multifunction steering wheel, and a 6-disc CD player. All those toys are crammed into one comfortable ride. It starts with the seats, which I still think are some of the best in the business. The steering wheel fits well and responds brilliantly as well. The ride setup is a little bit harder than I would have imagined, but it's still pretty comfortable. But despite all the luxury built into this Lexus, it still rattles. It's an almost unavoidable side effect of chopping off the roof. The whole chassis becomes less rigid, and despite their best attempts at reinforcements, Lexus hasn't managed to sort out every rattle. But while the chassis may remind you that our road surfaces are less than perfect, the engine is super smooth. It's a 2.5 V6 with 153 kilowatts and 252 Newton meters. 0 to 100 time is 9 seconds dead, and it'll go into a top speed of 210 kilometers an hour. Now, as you've probably gathered from those figures, this is no sports car. But that's okay, because this car isn't about being a boy racer, it's about genuine cruising in real luxury. Besides, if you want a Lexus that goes fast, you can always opt for the ISF, which RPM will be driving in a few weeks' time. The only real downside to the drive in the IS250C is the 6-speed auto box. The problems all relate to the gearbox's sport mode and its displays. That's right, I said displays. The first one shows you the gear that you might be in, so you have to call up the second one, which shows you the gear that you're actually in. And then in sport mode with your foot flat, the pedal commands are basically ignored and the car will shift sometimes 2000 RPM later than you want it to. I know you pay for them and I know they make you feel like a racing driver, but the best option is to ignore these pedals and let the gearbox do its own thing. When you do that with the top down, this Lexus is a pleasure. Not one of life's cheaper pleasures though. One of the things I like about Lexus is that it's still a small brand. You don't see one on every street corner, even though their cars are as good as the German variety. So if you're in the market for an executive type convertible, go check out the BMW 3 Series and the Mercedes-Benz CLK. But do yourself a favor, there are 13 Lexus dealerships around the country. Go check them out as well. With a decent, smooth-running V6, life in the Lexus drop top is always pleasing and refined. The overriding impression is of sophisticated elegance. Although the asking price may appear high, the spec level is comprehensive. Our niggles are restricted to an auto gearbox that doesn't always deliver in sport mode and the odd rattle over rougher surfaces.